Hey guys, welcome to Blazing Guitars, where we talk about worship gear, music, guitar, and everything in between. My name is Blaze Nelson, and today we're going to take a look at the Phenyx PTG-11, which is a wireless guitar system from Phenyx Pro. Before we jump into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, please leave a comment below, and I will get back to you. If you'd like to support what I'm doing on the channel, Patreon is linked in the description below. And if you'd like to pick this up, you can do so using my associate link from Amazon. It'll give me a little bit of kickback, and it'll get you this product at the exact same price. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so before we go too far, Phenyx Pro sent this to me and asked me to review it, but I'm not associated with them in any other way. They just gave this to me and asked me what my thoughts were on it. So this is the case that it comes in. It's a nice little plastic black case with some foam. If you open it, you can see that each thing has a place. It's all fit snugly in there, so nothing's moving around. And there's kind of a lot of bells and whistles that this comes with. So you have the receiver. It comes with two antennae and two extenders for the antenna. Like if you have it in a rack unit or something, you can stick these on it and get them to the top so that there's no interference. It comes with rack mounts for it and the hardwares and accessories for that to attach these to the body. And then it has a charger for your receiver. It's a full 1/4 inch cable, TRS cable, and then a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter that you can use as well. And then it comes with your power supply. Okay, so let's give a listen how this sounds. What I did was I recorded a guitar part using a looper, and then I went from my looper into a pedal board, and then using the Strymon Iridium, straight from the Strymon Iridium into an audio interface. So that's going to be the first clip that you hear. You'll hear fully cabled how I would record my guitar. And then what I did was I replaced the cable running from the looper to the board and put the PTG system there, so it went from looper to PTG to board out to the interface. And then what I did was I ran the looper into the board into the PTG system, just so that you could hear how it sounds if you're just running a guitar straight into it or if you're running a full rig through it. So let's give a listen to what those sound like, and we'll come back and I'll let you know my thoughts on them. Okay, so there you have the 3 sound bites. I have tried to use this at church a couple times, and I've gotten a lot of interference. And what I've realized tonight as I was setting up and recording those clips, I realized that there's an auto anti-interference feature. So this thing will scan and look for a channel that has the least amount of interference, and then automatically select that channel, and then you can use that to have the cleanest signal possible. So what I noticed as I was recording those was there was very little interference from when I used it between essentially the guitar and the board, but I noticed a little bit more interference, and I had to turn it down a little bit because it was clipping and having a harder time when I was running my full rig through this. So overall, I'm extremely impressed. My one complaint on this is that this is not a great form factor for electric guitarists. So normally if you get a wireless system, I would want something that would run straight from a guitar into a board without having something extra to sit on the side. So like I know Line 6 makes one that sits on a board. I think Boss has ones. There's a bunch of them out there. And Phenyx Pro even has one where the receiver looks just like this. So that would be a lot more fitting for the traditional board or guitar to board to amplifier setup. However, I think this has a real place for guitarists, and I'll show you where I think this would really fit in a guitar rig. Okay, so I think this thing has a lot of place in a rig like this, where you have a rack processor like my 11 rack here. You would have, this is the AS900 that I reviewed. which is a in-ear monitor, wireless in-ear monitor system, and then your wireless guitar system. So if you could combine something like this and use it for example, a couple years ago we went up to a camp and had to use a sound system that I wasn't familiar with. If I had had a system like this, it would have been awesome because I could easily roll in, plug this box in, and then be done. Whereas when we did do that, we had to run cables and pull cables and do all this different stuff. But if I could just have a wireless system and get exactly where I wanted to on stage and not have to worry about plugging in a ton of wires and figuring all that out, but just be wirelessly connected to everything, that would have been awesome. So if you have a rack, and I know Kemper has a rack version of their stuff, the Helix comes in a rack version, and a ton of other stuff comes in a rack form as well. So if you have a rack rig going on, this would be a great addition to that. If you have just kind of a traditional amp setup, you might want to look at their cheaper version or something different, but for rack, this is a no-brainer. So that's kind of my experience with the PTG-11. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, again, don't hesitate to reach out. This was a really fun product to mess around with and try. I've always wanted a wireless guitar system, so it's cool that they sent it to me, and it's fairly cheap too. 150 bucks is significantly cheaper than any of the competitors out there that you might find. So give those guys a look up. Also, if you would like to join me, I have a Discord server that I'm starting called Blazing Guitars, and there's a link to join that below. If you would like to join the discussion and join other Christian worship guitarists talking and engaging with each other on gear and how to lead worship well, there's going to be a link in the description that you can check out. So we'd love to see you in the server, and I hope this video was helpful, and thank you for watching.